lots of creativity there. And on that note, I would also like to congratulate Lauren Cook. Well done, Lauren. Lauren was the winner of the Early Career Naturalist video competition that we recently held. And I have to say, her creativity in creating this amazing illustration is just so impressive and beautiful. So have a look at this. I had a conversation with her earlier to talk about exactly how she did it. So Lauren, of course, I watched your beautiful animation about the Hen Harriers, and it was so creative. It's something that I'd never imagined to do or be able to put together. So talk me through the process. How did you do it?
Oh, thanks so much. So basically, after coming up with doing all the research into it, finding out some facts about the Hen Harrier, I then created a storyboard and sort of make a huge list of all the art that I think I need to do for it. And the good thing about the type of animation that I do is that every previous project that I've done, I keep all of the bits of paper, or I save a copy of the art so I can just print it out again. So I had a couple of drawings of some flowers that I already had and things like that, but then I just went about doing all of the watercolour and spent a long time cutting out actually at the end. And then basically you just set up your scene, and between every frame you just move it really slightly, so tiniest movement, take a picture, tiny movement, take a picture, and then just see the end result's always a bit of a surprise, so it's quite, I love doing it. It's really good fun.
How long does it take you to put together something like that?
I'd say absolute minimum probably a week. So wow. I'd rather have a bit more time to, if I wanted to redo bits, or the editing process takes a while as well. So yeah, probably a comfortable 2 weeks, but a real push for a 1 week.
And is illustration and wildlife something you're focused on? How did you get into that part of illustration?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I just did a master's in conservation research, and I'm hoping to stay in research. So I'm hoping to do a PhD and carry on with all of my art and everything at the same time. Because I've always loved sort of being outside, and I absolutely love Springwatch, by the way, just really excellent. So yeah, like British wildlife is incredible, and I love using the animations to actually get that out there as well. We don't need to, go to exotic places to see amazing things because it's right on our doorstep. But preaching to the choir, I'm sure.
Well, it's easy to overlook the things that are in our front gardens and the things that we see every day, but it's so important that we remind ourselves of the beauty of those things, because whilst we might walk past them every day, if we take it's the time to look and notice that detail, or in your case draw that detail, make animations about it, then we can appreciate it in a whole new way. And I think that's what's really interesting when it comes to science communication, because there's so many disciplines that can be involved. And the more creative the better. So I mean, how have you found like engagement as opposed to, I don't know, articles, blogs, that kind of thing? Because illustration is something which I'm seeing more of, and it's something that I'm quite excited by.
Well, I suppose personally it's sort of in my skill set, because I've always loved art. I did art at school till A level, and then you kind of have to choose at one point, don't you, whether you're going to go down one route or another. So I picked the biology route, but have found ways to keep the art going. And in terms of engagement, I think a lot more people than we realise are visual learners. If you see something, you will actually remember it much better, and rather than if you're just hearing it or doing it. I mean, also good options, but in terms of illustration, I think, as you were saying, if you can really appreciate the beauty of it, from an artist's perspective, then sometimes it makes you look at things slightly differently than you would yourself. So I think, using the creativity is a really good way to communicate about science and nature.
Yeah, it's marrying art and nature together, which is I love that combination. I think it's really great. So of course, with the rise of social media, your illustrations will be reaching kind of new audiences and younger audiences as well, and hopefully bringing a whole new generation into the conservation conversation.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, I think things like, you know, on the TV, things like Spring Watch, you are watching with your younger viewers. And I don't know at what point people are getting on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and everything, but they do, the tend to reach quite a wide audience. When people like sharing it with people and saying, oh my God, I didn't know about this bee. Like, have a look. Can you believe that they live in snail shells, and sort of send it on? So it's quite good social internet in that way for this kind of avenue of communication. It's really good. I think, yeah, it's so important. And people, there's more and more of this kind of, you know, awareness about the environment coming into the school curriculum as well, which is so important, and they're gonna save us all.
Let's hope so. We need saving. We need that help. We need that younger generation coming in. And those illustrators, they're great resources for schools to share, because they're really beautiful. They, you know, grab your attention by the beauty of the art, and then you kind of forget the fact that, in fact, you're learning about this species and this whole ecosystem and this ecology that is kind of in the back of your mind, and you're going to remember it because you remember those, you know, visuals. That bit where that female turns her head around in that. I love that bit. It was absolutely beautiful.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that. It's fun when you, I think when I'm sort of doing the research and finding out about little behaviours or whatever that, whatever the animal is, these ideas kind of come to you, and you sort of hope that they work. So I'm glad that that did work in the end.
Yeah, because they really hunker down, and they're really hard to see, and the nests, you just stumble upon them because they're so deep down into this moorland. So yeah, I mean, it was just demonstrated beautifully. It was great.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I found it amazing how much they do sort of look like owls, don't they? And the way they can turn their head all the way around, it's really cool.
Gorgeous facial disc, very charismatic, and it's because it's such a shame, really, that so many of us don't know what a hen harrier is and don't know the threats that they face.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't, until I sort of investigated through Hen Harrier Day, I had no idea that they're the most persecuted bird in the UK, and I feel like that is something that everyone should know, really. But I guess a lot of people don't have the opportunity to get out and get a pair of binoculars and develop that love for the wildlife. I think, yeah, just spending more time in the outdoors, you actually do start appreciating things more, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's access, isn't it? Having that option to go out into their wild environment and to be able to observe, obviously from a good distance, is, you know, really important, fundamental. But that's why, you know, science communication, and, you know, I've always thought science communication is so important, because, you know, not everyone can get out to, you know, northern England or that part in Wales where they're doing really well, to see these birds. So, you know, to have this kind of resource is fantastic. But, you know, your videos and what you're saying is absolutely fantastic. So
thank you so much.
No, yeah, thank you for sending that in to us.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that everyone liked it. It was really a pleasure to do, and yeah, I hope it sort of contributes to the message that Hen Harrier Day is trying to spread about, you know, raising awareness for these really cool birds and that they need protecting. So yeah, anything that people can do to help is great.
Well, thank you very much, Lauren. It's been lovely to chat with you.
Yeah, it's been great to chat to you too. Yeah, great to meet you.
You too. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
So it was really great to chat with Lauren earlier. I have to say, her creativity and the way that she does those illustrations is beautiful. She does lots of them all over social media. She did a great one about bees that I saw recently as well. But in that one, I love the way that the female hen harrier just turns its head. It's the attention to detail that Lauren's got that I just think is a fantastic way of communicating some key hen harrier science too. But